Hi, I'm Mr. Rinke, and today we're talking about lighting and lights, which we use a lot in horticulture and is very important to plants. So let's see if we can learn something about lights today.
Welcome to Plants and Light. In this series, we'll look at the three fundamentals of horticultural lighting. These are light duration, or photoperiod, light quality, or the color of the light, and light intensity, or how powerful is that light. This series covers some of the latest research in horticultural lighting, and by the end, you're going to know a lot. But most importantly, you're going to know how to apply this horticultural lighting science in your garden, grow tent, in a greenhouse, or an indoor farm. Lighting in horticulture doesn't just power photosynthesis. It affects a plant's morphology, making it tall, short, different colors, the leaf texture, and it can make a plant smell and taste differently, affecting the flavonoids, terpenes, and compounds that contribute to smell and flavor. Lighting can even affect the nutrient content. Before we dive deep into this series, you should know that lighting has pretty complex effects on plant growth, and the same results can't be expected for all crops. You could have completely different results for different varieties within the same crop, and environment's going to have big impact. You could have completely different results whether your grow light's used in a greenhouse as a supplemental light or indoors as a sole source light. My goal is that by the end of this series, you'll feel confident with the three fundamentals of horticultural lighting, so you can use this science to your advantage, so you can use what you've learned, so you know how to pick the right grow light to achieve your goals. In the next episode, we'll look at the first fundamental of horticultural lighting, photoperiod. To learn more about horticultural lighting, visit farmertyler.com. A lot of these episodes will have their own blog post. I'm Farmer Tyler, and the more you know, the better you grow.
This video series was made possible with support from Hydrofarm. In this video, we saw the Sunburst CMH, the Solar System 550, the PowerPar commercial 4-foot LED fixture, and a variety of other lights that help make this series possible. Thanks, Hydrofarm.
All right, so we're almost done with the video, but here's the question. We leave our lights on all the time, and is that always the best thing to do, to just leave them on 24/7, or is there a better way, depending on what we're trying to grow, the kind of plants we're trying to get to flower, or whatever we're trying to get them to do? And so, hey, let's check this out. We're almost done.
Welcome back to Plants and Light. I'm Farmer Tyler. Today we're going to cover the first fundamental of horticultural lighting, photoperiod. Photoperiod is simply the duration that a light is on during a day. So it's how many hours of light is a plant exposed to each day. Photoperiod is incredibly important to flowering crops. Not all flowering crops respond to photoperiod, but there are two main groups that do. There's long day plants and short day plants. Long day crops flower when they receive a long day. usually about 14 hours of light or more. Short day crops flower when they receive a long night. It's a little bit counterintuitive. You think, okay, short day plant flowers when it receives a short day, which it does, but it's actually the long night that makes it flower. Knowing that it's the dark period that really triggers flowering, you can manipulate this by interrupting the night. And that's what I did in this little demo. And it worked. On this side, I interrupted the night, and on this side, I didn't. These are all short day crops. Both of these sides received 12-hour photo period. There was a divider between them. But this side received 1 hour of red light during the middle of its dark cycle, and this side received 1 hour of green light during its dark cycle. Green light is really cool. It doesn't trigger a photoperiodic response, yet the red light does, and we'll cover how light quality can interplay with photoperiod in further episodes. By manipulating photoperiod, you can control when a crop moves from vegetative to flowering. Vegetative being the stage when it's growing leaves and roots and just getting really big, and then flowering being the stage when it starts to flower. By increasing the length of the vegetative stage, you can grow a really large plant that has a lot of energy, so when you flower it, it can have a lot of flowers or grow a lot of soybeans or have a really big sunflower. This specific sunflower was studied by Cornell in 2008, and they did a study fairly similar where they exposed some to short days right away and some to long days. The plants that were exposed to short days immediately flowered faster, which would be expected, but their flowers were smaller and their plants were shorter. This is because they didn't have a lot of energy in them, but they were given the signal, it's time to flower, and they flowered with whatever energy they had. The plants that were exposed to long days and then flowered had a lot of energy they had amassed during that vegetative stage. So the sunflowers grew really tall, the flower buds got really large, and they were more marketable. Let's say you are a grower that's growing sunflowers for a farmer's market, and you know that the Thanksgiving farmer's market's gonna be super busy, you're gonna sell a lot of sunflowers, and you need to have your sunflowers timed to flower perfectly so they're ready for that market. Well, you might start them vegetative early. You might go a couple months early and they're getting nice and green and they're getting big. And then a month ahead of the market, you know, oh, I gotta start flowering, so they're all ready all at the same time and they're gonna look great. You shift to 12 hours, you stop doing a night interruption, and then you have your plants perfectly timed for the market.